Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing? We are going to be doing a long walk. I picked a good one. We are on 5th Avenue in Brooklyn, and we are going to be walking. We just started at 36th Street, so we're in the Sunset Park section, and then we're going to be going all the way to the end of 5th Avenue. It goes Melody Lanes, this is a bowling alley over here. Well, yeah, we're going to be going all the way to the end of 5th Avenue, where 4th Avenue merges in and then 5th Avenue ends over around 95th Street. So yeah, a good 60 block walk. It comes out to about 3 city miles. So we'll see if we could do it in an hour. We are right outside one of the big MTA train yards. It's a big MTA complex over here. I know somebody that works here. Today is a really miserable day. We are in the middle of the summer, so can't really complain. We're in the middle of a heat wave again. Temperature is going to go up to 90 today, but the big thing right now is the humidity is 90%. And it is the temperature is 90 degrees now. I mean, I checked the current temperature and it says 90. And the real feel is 105. I believe it. This is crossing 39th Street. All right, so we are in the Sunset Park section of Brooklyn for the first half of the walk, and then we will enter the Bay Ridge area when we cross over the 65th Street highway area. That guy hosing off that window looks refreshing for some reason. So if any of you have been with this channel long enough, you know already by now that this is the neighborhood my first part of my life. I lived in Sunset Park up until we moved out into the Bensonhurst Dyke Heights area in 85, 86, but first 12 years of my life, I lived here in this neighborhood. I lived, there's Sunset Park right there, the actual park. The neighborhood is called Sunset Park, but there is an actual Sunset Park, which we're passing in a little bit. And I lived on the 7th Avenue side of the park. And we are on the 5th Avenue side of the park right there, you can see it. If any of you were born after I want to say, think about this for a second. If any of you were born after 1995, you have no idea how, and I will say it because of my own experiences. So, I mean, I'm not speaking if anybody else who lived here, if they think it wasn't dangerous, that good for you. This was a dangerous neighborhood. Dangerous. And you know, you guys know I don't use that word ever when I do my walks. And I've been into some, you know, interesting neighborhoods, and I don't come out and use that word. But this was a dangerous neighborhood at one time. I personally witnessed things that a 6-year-old, 7-year-old shouldn't have seen. And I'm talking about the most extreme thing, murder. So, you know, it was just a very dangerous neighborhood. But that was prior to 95. After 95, the neighborhood started changing both on 8th Avenue and 9th Avenue and even on 5th Avenue. And nowadays it's not a dangerous neighborhood. You still have to watch yourself in you know, certain parts of this neighborhood at night, but for the most part, it's nothing like the 1970s or the 1980s. It is early. It is around 10 in the morning. Normally I do my walks a little later than this, but it is going to be hot later, and I don't want to be, you know, out in it. You know, these lights over here are dangerous. They don't turn green right away, and then it makes you want to go across. Like just now, I was going to try and beat it, but. All right, here we go. Eventually we will cross over to this side in a little bit. So yeah, it's been a little while since I did a commentary. I do less commentary when we get to this time of the year. It is talking a lot in this kind of weather. It makes you thirsty. So now, just an hour later, if I was just taking this walk an hour later, the streets would be way more crowded. Not super crowded like the city, but you know, it's still early. There's still some storefronts that are closed. You know, we'll cross over to that side. Got another light here I gotta cross. And we're going to be walking for a while. I know I said it in the beginning. We're going to be going all the way to the end of 5th Avenue. So I haven't found a good rhythm yet. I'm getting stopped. I think this is like the 3rd time I got stopped. So I'm trying to get my rhythm. You know, you guys know my walks. I just keep walking. I go through lights, and so I don't like having to stop all the time. Comes one of those moments now. Do I go? No, I can't go. Too many cars. I'll tell you, traffic is a little busy this morning. I'm cutting right in front of this guy. I don't care. Oh, it was a light anyway. There goes some busy stuff going on right here. And they still got some thrift stores on Fifth Avenue where you can buy some like wholesale prices of soda and water and stuff like that. Well, so my pace is fast. We're walking faster than I normally walk because it is a longer walk. So usually when I do my long walks, I walk a little faster to get everything in at a quicker clip. You could tell people are hot. You could see, we just walked by that guy who was wiping himself with a napkin. There was that kid. About a minute ago we passed, he was fanning himself. It's hot out, man. It's 90 degrees, 90% humidity. Speaking of heat, I'm going to talk about, we're in the Bronx, man, and my camera overheated. And that was the first time that this camera ever overheated. And I've had the camera for a couple of years, so that last walk I did in the Bronx, man, I was supposed to go all the way to Pelham. It was supposed to be a 1 hour walk and the camera died on me. So I don't think that's going to happen with this walk today. I think that the circumstances for that walk were a little different. I had that camera going for a couple of hours, both on recording and charging. So when you charge this camera, it gets warm. So even if the camera isn't running, it warms up the camera. So I think what happened was right after that first walk I did, I threw it on the charger, and then right after the charger I threw it on the second walk, and I think the camera just overheated at that point. And we're not going to be charging this camera. This is going to be a straight walk, and then I'm going to be done, so we should be good. We were just crossing 51st Street. Oh look, it's fish. It's fish. Those turtles. Thought it was fish at first, and I had little turtles in there. Pizzeria and ice cream still around. It's been around a while. And they're just opening up, getting ready for the day. Got a Burger King over here. And I know there's like a Texas chicken and burger place over here somewhere. Somewhere. Oh, here it is, right in front of us. You got Royal King's Pizza and Pasta.
Oh, wow.
Somebody's already eating in there. Never too early to have some chicken tenders, man. All right, here's a light I'm gonna beat out. (54th Street) is always a busy. This is always a busy corner over here on 54th. It seems that there's more people on this side than the other side, so I'm gonna just stay on this side. It's probably because of the shade, you know, the sun. There's no shade on that side. It's early. The sun is pretty hazy right now, so. But it's still warm enough that people are staying away from that side of the street. Yeah, some of these streets are a little filthy. They need to clean these streets up. And in case you're wondering, yes, it does stink around here. Just give you guys a look at what's across the street. Just more of the same shops. Got a lot of laundromats, shops, places to eat. Pretty much a big commercial area, Fifth Avenue, all the way down. I mean, we get down to, say, like 65th Street. It'll kind of get a little desolate down there. And then we're gonna cross into Bay Ridge. And then it just picks up again with just a lot of commercial stuff and shops and places to eat and stuff like that. So Fifth Avenue, you know, the whole entire length of Fifth Avenue, all the way from Flatbush Avenue, is pretty much a commercial area with a couple of breaks. So like if you're coming from Flatbush Avenue, and we've done that walk, you hit the cemetery area and then it gets kind of desolate. And then where we started the walk, it picks up again. And then it's gonna, you know, get desolate by 65th Street, and then we'll be in Bay Ridge. All right, we're gonna get across the street here. Let's see if we can do it safely. We are coming up on our first church. So we'll show you that church in a little bit.
¿Cómo le fue?
I didn't even think. I just walked right through that crosswalk. I was watching the whole time though. Generoso's Pizza. Bakery Cafe. And it does say pizza on the top, by the way. In case anybody's their top sign says Bakery Cafe Pizzeria. All right, we're gonna get across here. Second. All right, we're back. I had to cut the video for a second. There was some music, so you know. This is we just call it OLPH for short, but this is the Our Lady of Perpetual Health. I think that's what it's called. It's a big church, put it that way. It's a very big church. It's a grand church. This is like what I like to call a grand church. And it's got these street entrances down here. It's got the two staircases on either side here to my right and left. As you can see, someone's going in right now. Well, you know what? Let's go inside. I saw somebody go in. And I'm going to be very quiet. Now that was the downstairs church. There's an upstairs also. So if you thought that was small, that was just the, this is just the downstairs. The upstairs is probably closed because I see the gates are kind of down over here. It was pretty dark in there too. I couldn't even see. You can see there is an upstairs, the big church. And see all the gates are closed, so I would have rather showed the upstairs too, but well, we've made it to 60th Street. I don't know, I just don't feel like I found my rhythm with this walk yet. It kind of, I don't know. I guess after I look at it and edit it later, it'll look fine, but it could be just because of, you know, the heat and everything and stopping. And I've had to stop multiple times on this walk, and I had to edit out some music and So this is the area where it's going to start quieting down a bit. We're going to hit the 65th Street area, cross into Bay Ridge. Very hard to see from here, but you can see the Verrazano Bridge out there just above that tree line. And we are walking downhill right now too, by the way. This is a pretty good downhill walk right now. May not seem so in the camera, but it's a good downhill. Feeney's Pub. All right, we are getting to 65th Street here. Now, because I stopped my camera, I've lost track of how long this walk is right now, so. Now this right here is crossing over the train yard of the Brooklyn Queens Railway, and also where the N line runs. I'll give you guys a look in a second. And they're doing a lot of work over here. Here you go. Here's an opening right here we could use. You can see a freight train right down there, just laid up here on one of these tracks. So the tracks to my left here, these two tracks on my left, those are the N and those are the N lines. That's the northbound and the southbound tracks. And then to my right here is the Brooklyn Queens Railway that runs pretty much from here. It terminates just a few blocks up, and it goes all the way through Brooklyn into Queens. If you've ever been over to Metropolitan Avenue on the M train, it's pretty much, it goes through there. So, and what they want to do is they want to turn this into a train line for the MTA. What they want to do is convert this so that they could put a train line here in Brooklyn and run it between here and Queens. You can see the N train to the left there. The reason why I'm showing you this is because there's a light. I'm stuck at a red light, so. All right, here we go. And with this, we are now in Bay Ridge. We have left Sunset Park. We are in Bay Ridge now. 66th Street. And I just remembered OLPH, I think it was Our Lady of Perpetual Help. I said health. But look, man, I'm not good with acronyms. I was in the Navy, and that's all we did was use acronyms. So, you know, I got stuck again, guys. Yeah, this is I know you guys might be enjoying it, but I'm not. I don't like stop and go when I'm doing my walks. Stride Warrior's getting grumpy. Yeah, even I get grumpy, man. We should be good now. I think, you know, now that we're in Bay Ridge, it'll start kind of... I shouldn't have to stop a lot in Bay Ridge. Bay Ridge isn't that crazy with having to stop at intersection, except for when we get to Bay Ridge Parkway, 75th Street. So. What I'll do here is we'll get across the street. All right. Guess you could say we are halfway done with the walk. From this point on, we will be walking in the Bay Ridge area, and we will end it right over at St. Patrick's Church, which is considered on 4th Avenue. So 4th Avenue, if you look at a map, you'll see 4th Avenue kind of bends towards 5th, and eventually it'll 5th Avenue will end and merge into 4th Avenue. And that's over around 95th Street by the 95th Street train station for the R train. There was the Alpine is still around. Despicable Me, Maxine, Inside Out 2, Bad Boys 4, Fly Me to the Moon, A Quiet Place, Long Legs, and Happy Birthday Bella Atoli, and Happy Birthday Jalal, I guess it says. Yeah, it is still around. And I think I've stated this in the past. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't, but I just don't remember. I can't remember if I've ever been in that theater. If I can't remember it, then I probably have never been in there. The theaters I remember, I always tell people, first off, obviously the Lowe's, which is now the Marshalls, but the Fort Way was a big one. The two main theaters I went to as a kid was the Fort Way and the Lowe's. Those were the two theaters I went to. Then as a teenager, you know, out with your friends and everything, you know, we still went to those theaters. But we also went to the theaters like out in Staten Island, Sheepshead Bay, out in the city. But one theater that stood out as a teenager was the Marlboro on Bay Parkway, which is now, I think, a Walgreens. They actually knocked down the old theater. The old building that was the old theater, the Marlboro, is not even there. They knocked it totally down. Man, it is hot. Oof. For all you young people watching, you're not going to meet too many 50-year-olds that could walk as fast as me in 90-degree heat with 90% humidity. I guarantee you that. I am in pretty good shape. I walk faster than pretty much most people half my age. We are at 72nd Street. Considering how many times we've stopped, we're making pretty good time. I'll tell you, when that sun comes back out, like the sun goes in and when the sun comes out, the temperature difference is large. It's like 10 degrees. Ugh. The humidity, it's like I don't know how to describe it to people who have never, there are people watching this. I wouldn't be surprised that I've never really felt humidity. You might live in parts of the country where it's always dry or cool, but the best way I could describe, like right now, we're going to go onto this side because there's shade, so we're just going to get back over here. And I did see that scooter. I was looking at him. The camera wasn't, but I was. Best way to describe it is it's like swimming in hot soup. Or I guess maybe sitting in a sauna or having a very warm, wet blanket on you. You know, if you think about it, the last 3 walks that I've done on the channel, the 2 Bronx walks and this walk, it's been very hot. This guy's gonna make it and I'm not. Damn. Let's see if there's a lot of car. Yeah. All right. All right, so we've made it to Bay Ridge Parkway. I like to just call it 75th Street. And we're got about 20 blocks to go, or a city mile. So we're making good time. Johnny Pumps. Got a Subway over here. I'm definitely gonna eat out because I'm not going, there's no way I'm going home and cooking. I cook less in the summertime anyway. Most of the food I eat in the summertime is either cold cuts or off of the grill. I do some grill. I also have a deep fryer and an air fryer. You got a Texas Chicken and Burgers down here too. If I had to choose between like a fast food chicken place, it's gonna be Popeyes, which there is a Popeyes coming up soon. We have a, right off of 86th Street, we have a Burger King and it's actually, they're connected. When you walk inside. From outside it doesn't look like it, but the Burger King and the Popeyes down here, they're next door to each other as far as the storefronts, but when you walk in, it's an open layout. The seating area is pretty much two buildings, so. Now there is a really good place that I like to go to that's coming up right now. I'll show you guys in a second. And the name of that place is called Skinflints. And they always have the big American flag draped over the building during the summertime. I'm sure you guys could see that from here. So. Maybe I'll use this as my thumbnail. How would I get a good, like a nice good crop? I gotta think, oh, I got a red light, so I don't have to stop. I could just walk and then freeze frame later. So here you go. So this right here is Skinflints. And like I said, check their menu out. You go online, just look them up. As soon as you type the name, it's going to pop up because I don't think there's any other Skinflints anywhere. But I like their sliders. I like their burgers. To me, my three top, for me, I'm not saying they're the best, I mean, you could argue they're the best, but for me, my personal 3 top places to go to have a drink and eat are, well, let me get away from this bus, it's making all this noise. Damn, that's loud. I was gonna say, my 3 top choices are Salty Dog, Kettle Black. Kettle Black, I go there. So Kettle Black, actually, maybe that's what I'm gonna have today, because it is a Monday. Mondays they have that, you know, they have the bonus wing deal, like 69 cents a bonus wing. So you got Salty Dog, Kettle Black, and Skinflints. Those are my 3 top choices. And Salty Dog and Kettle Black are on 3rd Avenue. Salty Dog is right off of Bay Ridge Parkway, 75th Street, and Kettle Black is over there, I want to say on, I want to say like 87th Street, 88th Street. As I walk by some of these storefronts, you see the doors are open. The air conditioner, like the air conditioned air is like filtering out, and as you walk by them, you feel the cool air. Yeah, the party place over here has been around a long time. This is where you get your costumes and stuff. They have been around forever. One of the few businesses anywhere in the city that has survived many years of change going on. It's still around. All right, we're getting over to 86th Street now. across in front of these cars. All right, so you got this Mancini's pizza place, but we all know the big pizza place I'm about to show you guys when we cross 86th Street is the one that everyone goes to. It's Pizza Wagon. It's been around since forever. And this is what I was telling you right here. You got Popeyes and Burger King, but when you go inside, it's just one open space. These are places I used to eat at when I was younger, like in my 30s. Every once in a while, I might find myself inside one of those places, you know, like, because you got to eat something, right? So what happens is you get hungry and you're like, okay, I don't care about health. I just need to get something in my stomach. But we're almost done with this walk. It's been a long walk. I did lose track because I had to stop the video at one point. But since OLPH, we have been walking 30 minutes. That much I could tell you. Here goes Pizza Wagon. I got an interesting story about this, and it's a rumor though. So they've been around since 1966. So I'm sure all of you have ever know, John Travolta, Saturday Night Fever. He's walking down 86th Street, stops at Lenny's and says, "Give me two." A lot of people have asked about this. I don't know if this is true. You know, that you never know what's true and what's not true. But this is what I've heard. I heard this a few times, and it is believable. All right, so the movie obviously takes place in Bay Ridge, except for the one scene when he's in Bensonhurst and he's walking underneath the L. Maybe other parts of the movie are also in other parts of Brooklyn. I don't really pay attention. I just know that there's that one part where he goes and he grabs pizza. So a lot of people asked over the years, why didn't they just film that scene at Pizza Wagon? Right? It's in Bay Ridge. It would pretty much complete the whole, A couple of stories I heard was, number one, it was the name, right? So they thought it was more Brooklyn to go grab two slices from Lenny's than from Pizza Wagon. That's the one reason I heard. The other reason I heard, which I feel is more believable because, these things do happen. But when they were scouting out the scenes, scouting out areas to film scenes, apparently they wanted to get the elevated tracks in the movie, because back in those days, almost all the movies had some shot of the elevated rails. If you remember the French Connection, the big car chase underneath that same elevator rail. So you had the TV comedy show Welcome Back Kotter, which was based out of New Utrecht High School. So the rumor had it that when they were choosing the scenes, they felt that it was more, I guess, it was just a better scene to shoot. Him walking underneath the train tracks and then grabbing pizza from Lenny's, I guess. Ironically, Lenny's is no longer around and Pizza Wagon is still going. So, so that's, I'm sure in the back of their minds. But yeah, that's just stuff that I've heard. I'm not saying it's true or anything like that, but you hear these stories growing up when you live in these neighborhoods. All right, we're almost done, guys. We are about to hit the ends of Fifth Avenue here. We are just getting to 91st Street. We've got a few blocks. See the bridge? Well, when this tree gets out of the way, you guys will see a good view of the bridge. There it is. See the Verrazano Bridge up there. The Fifth Avenue Vet Hospital over there. And if anybody in the local area has ever seen a Windows We Are commercial to get some windows, that's where they're located, right there. I'm coming up on 92nd Street. For all you longtime people, yes, Panda Sport is still here, but it's no longer. It used to be two different locations next door to each other. You had the golf and the sport place, but now I think they've combined into one. Sign of the times, you know, it's not as much sales going on, so they consolidated. This right here used to be KFC over here, and it has been closed ever since they shut it down in 2020. And yes, I always say it whenever I bring up a KFC. I've never eaten KFC in my life, so I don't know what it tastes like. I don't know what it's like. I've heard stories. But. So here's Panda Sport. I used to come here when I was a teenager to get stuff for my rollerblades. And then right here at this insurance place was where the golf side used to be. This is Engine 242. You got Lockyard, which is a pub, beer place. And then, of course, there's Staples. I've told this story before, I'll tell it again. When I was younger, I used to enjoy coming here the night before the first day of school. Just to see all the parents and the kids like running through the aisles, taking all the last minute supplies before the school started the next day. It's like a madhouse. It's really the equivalent of it's like going to Toys R Us on Christmas Eve and trying to get that last minute gift, man. It was crazy. But I used to come in here, just make it a point to have to buy something from Staples on the day before school starts, so I can see all the mothers yelling at the kids, arguing over what they need. And all right, we're at the end here, 94th Street. This was a good walk for someone that's crazy like me and doesn't care about walking in 107-degree real field temperatures. One last pizza place right here. And the guy that's in there, that guy that cooks the pizza, that makes a pizza, he's been in there forever, since I was like a kid. He's the only one that makes a pizza in there. Here we are, at the end. So right here to my right is 4th Avenue. That's 4th Avenue cutting into 5th. You have the last stop on the R train right here, 95th Street Station. Fort Hamilton Diner is still around. You got 2 diners on the corners here of this block. You got the Coffee Club, which is over there on 96th Street, and you got Fort Hamilton Diner over here. They've both been around for a long time. There is the sign for 4th and 5th Avenue if you're just starting out and going back the other way. And here's St. Patrick's Church. So we're done. Now I could go get something to eat. So I hope that everybody had a good walk. I hope you all had the air conditioner running while I was doing this, because it is a really miserable feeling day outside. So it's definitely not the type of day you want to be out and doing walks like me, man. But I'm used to this stuff, so. Anyway, take care, everyone, and I will catch everyone on the next walk, wherever that shall be. So take care.